At just 25, Lindsey Vonn has almost achieved everything that can be achieved in women's skiing. But almost everything is not enough for Lindsey Vonn. Her big dream? A medal at the 2010 Vancouver Olympics. And by doing that, she would write her name into the history books of women's alpine skiing.
Welcome to Pushing Boundaries. I'm Maylene Ramey.
And I'm Pat Parnell. On today's show, we're going to undertake an alchemy of sorts. We're going to journey through Lindsey Vonn's life and see how she transformed her early beginnings in St. Paul, Minnesota into Vancouver gold.
As the only American to win back-to-back overall World Cup titles, Lindsey has been on top of the ski world for a while now. So let's take a step back and find out how she made her way to the top of the mountain.
So Lindsey was brought up really in an ideal environment for skiing. And so they put the pieces together, and once Lindsey started showing some talent, it kind of took off from there because they knew exactly what to do, who to contact, who to coach her. And once she progressed to a certain point, my brother and Lindsey's mother, Linda, moved to Vail so she would be in a better environment.
My dad taught me how to ski, and my grandpa was a ski jumper. So I have a lot of skiing in my background. They pushed me a lot, to be good at ski racing. I think my family always wanted me to be good. My parents put so much money into my skiing that, I think I felt really guilty because we didn't have money anymore. We would spend it all on my skiing, and it was hard sometimes to make ends meet. And, we lived a great life, don't get me wrong. I just never want to have that problem. I never want to worry if I have enough money in my bank account to buy food or to buy things that I need. And I want my kids to be, taken care of. I don't want to ever have that problem. It's something that I'm definitely afraid of. I'm a speed freak and I love going fast, and I always just try to push myself to go faster and faster. It's really hard to be working out for 6 to 8 hours a day. I find myself, thinking, why do I do this sometimes? But I always know that the harder I work, the faster I'll ski, and you have to earn your success. It's not just handed to you.
She was always raring to go. She was always the first one who wanted to get out the door to go to training and the last one to leave.
Whether it's dark or cloudy or rainy, she's up in the starting gate, and in her mind it's perfectly sunny and she's going to go win. And when you see her race, you can see that that's, she has that look in her eye that she's fearless.
That's, one of my assets because I'm never afraid, so I'm always, continuing to push myself and try to be better and faster.
This is more than a full-time job. Just staying in shape, staying in the maximum physical shape that she's in.
I'm always trying to work harder, work hard on my physical fitness, but also, on the hill, trying to improve, and I'm trying to go in the direction more of men's skiing and trying to find, a tighter line and just trying to find a way to go faster.
Coming up, one of the toughest skiers in the world, Lindsey, talks about her approach to deal with pain and injury.
Welcome back to Pushing Boundaries. Skiing, snowboarding, luge, all of these sports come with high risk factors, and athletes are almost guaranteed some serious injuries at some point in their careers. Lindsey Vonn is no exception.
And what often separates the champions from the runner-ups is mental attitude. Not only how they deal with rehab, but more importantly, how they cope with the circumstances that initially gave them the injury.
When it comes to ski racing, she is not afraid of anything. It's pretty amazing. When it's flat light or bad weather or I mean, this is probably one of the areas I'm trying to help her with is to teach her to maybe be a little afraid sometimes, like in training when the conditions are bad, she's going at it fearless, and you have to take the intensity down sometimes,
I would say that she's fearless in anything that she does. She's been like that ever since she's been a young child. We're very concerned about her, especially the downhill racing, because of the speed, and we're always worried about her and pray for her. We pray for her before every race.
The thing with crashes is that you can't focus on the injury, you can't focus on, the fact that, I could crash, I could end my season, I could end my career, because then you'll just be afraid, and you have to just keep going and forget about it. I mean, skiing is a dangerous sport, and, I'm not in it to go slow, I'm in it to go fast, and if you go fast, then sometimes you might get hurt.
In St. Anton, Austria, before Christmas 2007, the anxiety level in women's skiing was running high. The women's run at Arlberg would, for the first time, take place on the men's course.
St. Anton was really cool. I mean, there were so many people there that were there to watch me. My coach's family and Robert and the whole ASP team, and all my ski coaches most of them are Austrian as well. So I think it was a big race for everyone.
Because of her height and athletic physique, Lindsey was expected to do well on the men's course. While many of her fellow competitors weren't able to complete the run, Lindsey persevered and convincingly won both events.
It was really emotional in the finish. I mean, everyone was just so excited, and it was really cool. Unfortunately, I didn't get to party, but I know some other people that did, and they had a good time. So I was happy that I could give them something to celebrate about. Normally, they definitely don't cheer for the people that beat their athletes from Austria, from their home country. And, I think they found a way to, accept me as half Austrian.
Number 1, Lindsey Vonn!
Love Austria. Yeah, it's just, the Austrians, they love ski racing, and it's been their national sport for a long time, and Austrians have really supported me, and I love that. It's so cool to have the support of so many people, and to have them pretty much take you in as one of their own. And I think they feel like I'm a little bit Austrian too, so they can cheer for me because I speak German.
I think you can get to a point where it isn't really possible to train harder, and there's not many people I would say probably get to that point, but I think Lindsey has been very close to that point. She is incredible in that way because she always seems to have motivation. It doesn't matter, how much she wins or how much, what the results she gets, she still wants to be the best.
When I am physically training, it's oftentimes very hard. It's a form of pain where you have to push through. You have to take your body to a certain limit and push past it, because that's the only way you really can get yourself to the next level of physical condition. The spectators only see me on the slopes. What they don't see is all the hard work that it takes to be on top.
She is the most driven person I've ever met.
still wants to be the best, and it's not like that hunger goes away when she does win, the overall title or the downhill title or, World Championship gold. She just is that personality, and I think it takes that unique personality to be so driven, at a high level continuously.
Coming up, Lindsey heads home for Thanksgiving and a much-needed competitive break.
Welcome back to Pushing Boundaries. Heading into the Vancouver Olympics, 3 athletes were locked under the media spotlight. Speed skater Paulo Ono, snowboarder Shaun White, and skier Lindsey Vonn. All were saddled with weighty expectations.
Ono and White already had gold medals in their collections, but Lindsey still had to perform and succeed at the highest level. Yet she was no stranger to pressure, having just come off 2 consecutive years as winner of the overall World Cup title.
The overall title is something really special. It's not just about one good race. It's about really being on top of your game for the entire season.
I'm very proud of her, for sure. She's did an amazing thing this year, and I'm beyond thrilled.
Pass anyone too. I won the overall today. It was pretty amazing. I can't believe I finally did it, and it feels pretty cool to do it in slalom. I started off skiing slalom in Buck Hill, Minnesota, and now I'm a downhill skier that just won the overall title. So dreams are coming true this year. It's pretty amazing.
I think that I maybe had less friends after winning the overall for the first time, just because, I always felt like even though people were being nice to me, they were always wanting to know, what I was doing and trying to get some piece of information from me. Since winning my first overall World Cup, that there's been a huge target on my back, and that everyone's, been just trying to beat me. And I was the same way when, Dorfmeister and Renata Goichel were number 1, and Nikki Haas, I was always trying to, to beat them. Whoever is number 1 is kind of the person that everyone looks to take down. And so right now I'm kind of that person, but I guess that's just the name of the game.
At the 2009 Alpine World Cup in Val d'Isère, France, the entire ski community was talking about one skier, Lindsey Vonn. Hardly anyone doubted that the American would win the World Cup again. The only question was how she would deal with the pressure and expectations placed upon her. She responded by winning gold in the Super G and Super Combined.
The most special for me was winning the downhill at the World Championships in Val d'Isère, France. Just because I was so nervous before the start, and the race had been delayed for 2 days, so I kept building up the pressure in my mind, and was just really nervous, more so than I probably have ever been.
Normally I would be in the finish or on the hill, doing what I do for coaching and giving the reports, but she needed to be just calmed down and to kind of take it away from being like the World Championship. Winning the first World Championship gold medal was incredible, and it was a cool experience for sure.
In November 2009, Lindsey Vonn started the World Cup season with a 9th place in the giant slalom in Selden. Following that, she returned to her home in Vail, Colorado to fine-tune her conditioning for 2010. At Thanksgiving, she recharged her batteries with her family and friends and prepared for a season in which she could win at new levels or lose even more.
I think, giving thanks for what you have is important, and I don't know, there's something about Thanksgiving that I really like. I'm preparing the banana bread, I'm preparing the pumpkin pie, I'm preparing the pumpkin chocolate chip cookies. All the baking is left to me.
Lindsey, grew up in Vail. She had some of her best years, there developing in Vail. There's a really great ski racing community there, and I mean, it's just an overall beautiful place.
We decided to move back there. I think it was, it's a great decision. I love Vail. I love the community, and everyone's, been really, really supportive of me coming back, and they're really excited about Vancouver and, the Olympics and everything. So I'm really happy to be back there.
With the Olympics coming around, there's definitely a lot of pressure, but it's mostly from the media, and I feel like the more I talk about it, the easier it becomes, and I get used to it, and I get used to talking about it, and I think, now I'm in a good place where it doesn't bother me. I think the first time that they were that the media said, oh, Lindsey's gonna win 5 gold medals, I was definitely really shocked, and, I didn't know what to do, and it made me nervous, and I felt like there was so much pressure on me, but now, I just have to stick to my goals and, just not get distracted from what everyone else thinks. And I think I found that happy place where, I'm just focused on myself and what I have to do, my job, and it's definitely helping me. So hopefully when I get to the Olympics that, I'll take what I learned this summer and fall, and hopefully that'll help me deal with all the circus that's, I'm sure, going to be going on.
Still to come, Lindsey makes final preparations for the most important competition of her life.
Welcome back to Pushing Boundaries. It's interesting that earlier in the show, Lindsey Vonn had mentioned most of the talk about her medaling in 5 events was coming from the media. It seemed like her personal goals were much different. Also, she appeared pretty comfortable with the expectations.
She often mentioned her husband and former World Cup skier Thomas Vonn as being a key component to her team, someone she could turn to not just for strategic and technical insight, but for emotional support as well.
I guess the only thing I might be afraid of is failure. I guess I just want to succeed so badly that if I fail, I think it would be my worst nightmare. I think what helps me the most is just talking with Thomas. He, always has a really good way of making things simple. So I think, as long as he's there and we're talking, then hopefully I'll be fine.
I've been doing the same thing I've been doing for the last, 3-4 years. I'm just maybe more visible, that's all. I do whatever's needed, if it's, I'm a coach on the hill, I'm, kind of a manager behind the scenes, I'm doing whatever to make her life easier.
He's good at all the things that I'm not good at, and I'm good at all the things that he's not good at. So he looks at, my boots, my skis.
That's not so much Lindsey's style with, getting into like the nuts and bolts and the nitty gritty of how things are working and why they're working. That is kind of my thing. That was what I was, in my career, that's what I did nonstop. If you just go out there, testing random things and you have no idea why one day you were half a second faster or a second faster, then it doesn't do you much good. It's a waste of time. I was the guy that always analyzed video for like 3 hours straight, and people thought I was crazy. So, maybe now it's not as crazy. It actually works. It pays off.
Best preparation for the Olympics is to be winning World Cups coming into the Olympics. So we're doing the same things because it's worked for Lindsey, over the last couple of years where she's still finishing really strong and she's skiing really well in February. So we know how to do that and what plan it takes to do that. So we're staying pretty similar to what we've done in past years. We had 2 downhills and a Super G here in-house, and it went extremely well. She won all 3, which is the first time she's ever done that. We're obviously really excited about it, and hopefully things can keep going that way.
The season's been going well so far, and it gives me a lot of confidence. So I'm just going to try to ski my best every single day and hopefully come away with a medal. I'm not sure what color. I really don't care. Any color would be great.
So there you have it, the secret of turning the icy slopes of Minnesota into gold. Hard work and lots of it.
And the rest is now history. As most people know, Lindsey overcame injury and skied to a dramatic victory in the women's downhill in Vancouver, edging out Julia Mancuso by half a second to claim the gold.
And she grabbed the bronze in the Super G just for good measure. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Pushing Boundaries. Thanks for watching.